welcome to the ProjectCars2 Virtual Racing League, round 4 of the Mojave Madness Championship that we're running here on the Xbox platform as ever, and it's the Mojave Sidewinder circuit. Mojave, the made-up circuit on Project Cars, of course. 5 layouts, 5 rounds of this championship, round 4 today. The penultimate round. It's really close at the top of the championship, so they're racing around this very tricky circuit here. We've got 15 drivers in total entered into this championship. We had 10 present for the last round, which was won by Scuderia Sam, just ahead of Stuart Davis. So it's a 3-way battle for the championship at the moment, and I think we can expect some great racing here today. As in practice, the drivers have been saying that this layout should produce really good racing, so we'll see if that's right now today. And yeah, like I was saying, Alex CDL leading the championship just ahead of Stuart Davis with 2 wins there. No wins for Stuart, but he's finished second every single time, so consistency is the name of the game sometimes. And now Scuderia team is leading with 1 win and plenty of podiums courtesy of Stuart there. Toxie CDL in second, Crazy Berry there in third, Team Island, Duda Gazelle, and Big Bad Loopy Delboy in 6th there. So the starting grid today looks like this. It's Scuderia Sam starting on pole position ahead of Stuart Davis and Alex CDL, D-Man there, and ahead of Chris Doherty, Free Gazelle, Loopy McGee and Toxico, who both ran out of fuel at the last race, so they'll be hoping that doesn't happen today and they can make up some good points here. So let's see how they get on. They're on the grid now, waiting for the lights, and another good getaway from Stuart. He's really mastered the starts. He seems to be getting away all the time really well, and he goes into the lead now ahead of D-Man up in second, battling with Scuderia Sam and Alex as well, and Chris there in the background waiting for something to unfold. And the 2 Team Island boys, they're getting very close together in turn 2, and they head now out of the hairpin, and there's a bit of a gap forming. Oh, and that's Scuderia Sam getting well out of shape, and that's allowed Alex up into second, and now Chris driving around the outside into 3rd position, I think. Yes, just taking 3rd away from Chris Doherty, then up into 3rd, and D-Man now looking on the red machine. A very slow start from Scuderia Sam, down from pole position to 4th, our last race winner. And it's Stuart Davis who finds himself now at the head of the field as they head round this fantastic, very tricky lap here. And Alex, what do you think of that start?
Oh, Alex on 2 wheels here, just taps the wall, and that's going to allow Chris through. But yeah, very interesting start. It looks like Adam and Toxico spun out on the first corner where they had contact, but a really tight group here from first to, it looks like 5th. Stu's got a bit of advantage in first as Chris now goes into second, so he'll be happy with that, and they'll probably be trying to chase Stu down now. But it looks like we've got Adam, Toxico and Free Gazelle in their own battle towards the tail end of the field.
Yes, battles all the way through at the moment, and Toxico in that papaya orange car now. Perfectly executed switchback manoeuvre there on Free Gazelle. Free Gazelle just on the inside, outbraked himself. Toxico saw it coming and nipped that position away. A very good bit of racecraft indeed. We'll see if Free Gazelle can come back though. He's been driving very well too. And Alex CDL smashing the cones. Cones going flying everywhere there over the circuit. So that'll add some excitement. Adam down there in 9th too after missing the last round. He's present today. And that's Alex CDL round, I think, is it? Or was he just drifting? No, he was just drifting the car, he was. He just likes to do some smoke screens from time to time, doesn't he?
Yeah, he likes to get the back end of the car out, and sometimes it just makes it a bit easier around the corners, but Chris has really catched you up, and he's going to really try and get him to move on and go for the lead. But they've also got Alex behind. Ooh, he looked like he was thinking about diving down the inside of the 2, but Chris definitely did, and he's up into the lead now. But side by side, I think Chris will just have the advantage. But no, Stu hangs on the outside and he's up the inside as the next corner. Alex was looking again, but Chris just shuts him out. It's a great 3-way battle at the front.
Yes, absolutely epic 3-way battle for the lead once again. It's where you want to see the most epic battles, isn't it, for first position? It always adds another dimension to it. And look at Chris flashing his lights in that car. He wants through on Stuart. But Stuart does not want to finish second again, so he's going to put up as stern a defence as he possibly can. And now coming into the tunnel, Chris gets very out of shape. Oh, and he slams into the wall and he's round. Chris Doherty is round. And this is going to allow Alex through and his Irish teammate there, D-Man 221 through to 3rd. And Loopy McGee putting up a great defence against Scuderia Sam, who's found himself back down to 6th position. and Loopy McGee up there making up some good points after running at the field at the last one. And now Toxico, this is battling away with Free Gazelle. These two are constantly at it.
Yeah, they're constantly battling, but that's unlucky for Chris, who looked like he could have won this race, but he just binned it in the tunnel. But that is a really tricky corner, but it's now just leaves the usual suspects up the front with Alex and Stu to battle for the lead. As well, we got Scuderia Sam and Loopy having a little battle, but looks like Sam just got a better exit there, and he's really hustling Loopy. Imagine he'll try and dive down the inside on one of the heavier braking zones, but Loopy's doing a fantastic job keeping him behind.
He certainly is, the Scotsman there, keeping the Welshman behind, but not for much longer. Scuderia Sam goes into 5th place there, and these two are having a fantastic battle. Loopy McGee is really on it today, and you can expect more of that, I think. And D-Man now just ahead of Chris Dorsey. Those two are battling, and for first position now, look, this is it, Alex EDL against Stuart Davis. We've said that a few times before, haven't we? And Stuart still battling away, look, really hustling the car, coming into the hard braking zone now of the hairpin, and side by side they go. And I think Alex was hoping that Stuart would outbrake himself, but he didn't. Stuck on his outside, but Alex EDL is still in second. But he's still hustling Stuart Davis now as they go over the brow of the hill, coming downhill now, and Stuart's got very sideways on these rounds, and so is Alex. Incredible, synchronised spinning, and now come the Team Island boys, and D-Man's done it too. What's going on? What is going on? There must be some oil on the track or something.
Yeah, you'd have to imagine so, if it did put oil on the track, but for some reason they just lost it all there on the together. It's like who can do the best spin, but that's really helped Chris, who's now inherited the lead with Stu and Alex still in second. It shows the pace they had, but Chris will be rubbing his hands together and saying thank you, and I guess the rest of the guys will be happy that they don't have to see him flashing the lights again.
Yeah, that's true actually. I think Chris might need to come into Halford soon for some new bulbs, because he's been using those lights an awful lot. But Chris, yeah, I mean, just a couple of laps ago, we thought he threw it away. He must have thought he threw the race away. And now he finds himself leading after 3 of his rivals spinning out on the same corner within a few seconds of each other. That was amazing, that was. And now Chris leading the way, just over a second ahead of Stuart Davis and Alex CDL. So it's still all to play for. They're still quite close up the front. McGee now up in 4th, ahead of D-Man. D-Man lost out, I think, the most you could say from that. Scuderia Sam there in 6th, and it's at the moment Toxico who's winning the battle against Adam and Free Gazelle.
Yeah, it's still pretty close. There's battles all over the shop in the field, but the main one is up at the top 3. Alex is a bit further back, 2.5 seconds from Chris, but he just taps the barrier there because looks like Stu loses with nose cone. But these two won't want a battle. They want to catch Chris as fast as they can. Looks like Alex is wide. Will he do a shoot? Yeah, just hits the barrier and around he goes. That's twice now he's gone wide into a corner and hit the tyres. And he did it in the last run as well, which cost him the win, you'd have to imagine. But that's allowed Loopy through and D-Man sniffing. Alex stays wide, which is quite nice of him as he will be slower. But that will compromise D-Man into this left-hander. But D-Man looking for... not quite there. Alex holds on but goes wide. That's going to allow D-Man through, and looks like Sam's going to try and follow him. So that one little incident could cost Alex quite a few places, it looks like.
Yeah, so easy to do. Oh, and there's
D-Man's
some slight contact, and D-Man's over. He's over on his helmet, and that's very unfortunate from D-Man. There was only slight contact, but at the speed they were doing, and over the brow of that hill, it sent him over. And now that he's back down to 7th, that's quite unlucky, I think, considering the scale of the impact there. It was just a slight touch, wasn't it? And now still battling away, Alex EDL and Scuderia Sam.
Yeah, it's quite an odd one of these, just slightest touch and it'll force it round, but now we've got Sam chasing Alex. It's quite a good place to break and overtake here, because the way the corner is, you can really just throw the car in. It's quite nice. But they'll be chasing Loopy again, who have to wonder what the hell's happening with all the other cars for him to be in 3rd now. Oh, Alex is around, is he? Will he catch it? Oh no, he just hit Sam. That's really unfortunate.
Yeah, that was unfortunate there. There was a bit of a smoke screen going on. and suddenly this green car facing the wrong way, and bits of red and green debris littering the track now. But they both continue, albeit with slightly lighter Caterhams, still battling for 4th and 5th. But they've lost time now to Loopy, who's a few more seconds up the road than they would have hoped for. But Loopy's doing a great job there. It hasn't crashed at all yet, up in 3rd, and that can't be said for any of the others.
Yeah, you have to imagine with all these spins that these guys have, and it's really going to affect the tyres, especially if the tyres are starting to overheat. They're going to lose massive amounts of grip, so it's going to affect them quite badly. But at least Sam's engine is going to be nice and cool with no bonnet there.
Yeah, definitely. It looks a little bit like one of those hot rods, doesn't it, with the engine? It's like the engine's so big it can't have a bonnet. That's what it is. It's 300 horsepower, 600 kilo Caterhams, and it is actually the fastest Caterham, road production Caterham that they've ever built, incredibly, which is not surprising, is it? They're rapid little things.
Yeah, I bet they're quite scary to drive on a B road. You wouldn't want to mess about with the throttle too much. There's see Chris doing his usual trick, flashing the lights, trying to get Free Gazelle out the way so he can lap him. Around the outside, that's quite nice of him. Now it's Stu's turn. Hopefully he won't get held up, but he's coming into a tricky place. It's quite an awkward corner to just overtake normally, let alone lap someone unless they're quite nice to you. But he's just caught up a bit there. But Free Gazelle gets out the way, does he? No, he had nowhere really to go, so that's just unlucky timing on Stu's part, and he's lost a bit of time with Chris.
Yeah, that could make all the difference in the end when these drivers are so evenly matched, but Stewart is on for another 2nd place, would you believe it? It would be 4th in a row, I think, at least 4th in a row if he finished 2nd here today. And now you look at Alex CDL, who's really catching Loopy McGee for 3rd. He really wants that podium to minimise the damage to his championship. He's got Stewart there up there in 2nd, who's 2nd in the championship, and he's got Scooter Sam just behind him, who's 3rd. So he really does need to get a move on, does Alex CDL, and try and overtake Loopy. But Loopy McGee's having such a great race, you wouldn't bet against him grabbing that podium, would you? And Toxico, he's having a good race too. He's ahead of D-Man now after his adventures.
Yeah, he's been a bit quiet. He managed to get away from Adam Free Gazelle, and he's sorted himself out. As it looks like Alex is going around the outside of Loopy McGee. It's quite an awkward place to do this. He really has to have the momentum, not go wide and hit the barriers. He's done a couple of times now, but good move there around the outside. It just shows the slight pace advantage Alex has over Loopy, but he'll be wanting to try and hold Sam back, but he knows Sam has overtaken him before, but you never know with this race. Alex made quite a few mistakes already, so he might get back through.
Quite possibly. We'll have to see what happens. There's a few more laps to go here in this 15-minute race, and this is the penultimate round, of course, so one more to come after this. Stuart Davis trying to take all the shortcuts he possibly can, going over those curves there. Trying to catch Chris Doherty for everything he's worth. He does not want to finish 2nd again, and he wants to maximise his championship challenge here too. If he does pass Chris and they finish where they are, I think I'm right in saying Stuart might be leading the championship going to the last round if he does that. Oh, and that's Alex off, I think, in the foreground. Yes, look, spinning out of control, incredible. He spun again. And for someone who's got so much confidence in these cars and seems to be really grabbing them by the scruff of the neck, it's incredible that he's spun twice now in this race. He could be up there in 1st or battling for 1st, and he's down in 6th now with Toxico just ahead of him. But a small consolation, he's still ahead of D-Man.
Yeah, it's like he's going back to his old ways when first started racing in the league. Just loads of pace, too many mistakes, and it cost him, and it looks like it's come back for one more race, but it's not what he wants, especially with Stu 2nd, Sam now 4th, who are battling him for the championship, and he'll have to try and get past this man, Toxico. But I can't see it being that easy. But Toxico does make a little mistake there, has to run wide, and that's going to give Alex a chance around the outside for this next corner.
Yes, and Alex swoops around the outside of the orange car and takes the position away from Toxico. Toxico there disadvantaged himself a little bit. Oh, and he's round! Toxico's round! Oh, that's such a shame for him. And now D-Man's through as well. And Toxico facing the barrier, and that's Alex round again! Ah, I can't believe it, he's round again. And D-Man there goes now through into 5th. And now here comes Toxico. Will he have enough momentum to pass Alex? I think he had a bit of a bigger crash, quite possibly, than Alex. Took a bit longer to reset the car as well. And so he doesn't. He stays down in 7th. Alex in 6th now. And for the race win, it's Chris Doherty, who is still 1.5 seconds ahead of Stuart Davis. Loopy McGee there, still in 3rd. Scuderia Sam is having a hard time closing him in.
Yeah, I wonder if all these spins have just affected Alex's tyres enough for it. It's just lost all grip and it's now, well, like he's driving on an ice ring with those rear tyres. But you have to wonder if Stu can actually catch Chris up. It's been around that gap for quite a while now, so it looks like Chris may be on for the win, but anything can happen, so it seems, in this race. But imagine there's only a lap or two left, maybe.
Yeah, I'm fairly sure there's only a lap maybe left after this one, with just a couple of minutes left on the clock there. 15-minute races, of course, so it finishes when the 50 minutes is up, and just finished that lap. And here comes Scuderia Sam now, battling with Lucky McGee still. He's closing him in just about, and he'll be within range soon to have a bit of a lunge on the last lap, you would have thought. And you can see the Scotsman going a little bit wide there. This is giving Scuderia Sam a great run, and this might be his chance, his only chance to get through. And he's down the inside of this really quick corner. This is a really tricky corner, this one, as they head into the tunnel. Are they going to be side by side? No, Loopy McGee backs out of it. He's going to try the cut back, get a better exit, and now he chases him down the hill. Will he get him? And that's D-Man round. D-Man's had a spin, and I think he's let Alex through now.
Yeah, Alex back through to 5th. I wonder if there's any contact there. So we cut back to it a bit too late, which is unfortunate, but that's allowed Alex up the road in 5th. But way too far to do anything with these two, as it looks like they've gone. Is it across the line now? Last lap?
Yeah, this will be the last lap now, I'd imagine, Alex.
Yeah, it looks like Stu's really caught up. It looks like he's just thrown everything in this last lap to try and catch Chris, but I think Chris just had the measure on him. But lapped car ahead, could this affect it? Oh no, Stu's into the wall. That's not going to help at all.
The good thing for Stewart is that he's got a huge gap behind him, so he can do everything possible to try and catch Chris, but it's not going to be enough, and they head out the last corner now, and they won't catch that lap car in time, and Chris Doherty takes a fantastic win under pressure all the time from Stewart, chasing him hard, but it wasn't enough in the end. Stewart finished second again, and Chris Doherty takes a great win, and really deserved that one. Fantastic. After that spin in the initial stages, and now it's the Scuderia Sam really close with Loopy McGee, going to be across the line. Who's going to get it? I think it's just going to be the red car. They're just ahead of Loopy McGee. A great battle between those two there for the last podium position. Loopy McGee drove an excellent race there, has to be said. Fantastic driving, fantastic defensive racecraft as well. And Alex CDL, after all his spins, he still finishes 5th, so a good haul of points there considering. And D-Man there of Team Island coming across the line in 6th. He had a fair few spins as well, didn't he? And Toxico we'll wait for now, who will be in 7th. Oh, what's happened to Toxico? Is he glitched out or has he crossed the line?
Possibly glitched out. Not quite
He's
sure.
He's dropping down, look.
Yeah, he must have another problem. It's really unfortunate. Because he was quite fast up in 7th and could have had 6th, but yeah, that's not ideal for him, unfortunately.
That's a really big shame for Toxico there. He had a great race, but Adam there, very consistent and picked up the pieces to finish 7th. But Chris Doherty was the hero today and absolutely flying. In fact, best lap there. Really showed how hard he was pushing. But less than a second in the end between the top two. And this is what it does for the championship now. Look, 10 points separating the top 3 as we head into the last round.
Yeah, it's anyone's game with the top 3. Whoever wins pretty much guaranteed the championship, but with the way these races are going, anything could happen.
Yeah, and there's still a battle for 3rd as well, and in the teams as well, although it looks like Scuderia might now have that win in the teams championship. It's still fairly close between 2nd and 3rd, so join us at the final round of Mojave Madness coming up soon.